What are the 5 habits that you need to successfully overcome childhood trauma? In case we haven't met yet, I'm jessxgoh. I'm the sole founder of Life in Confidence. And the first tip that I would point out is be an opportunist for your growth. See the opportunity whenever you get triggered, whenever you feel the pain. That is your invitation to let go of a programming or a behavior or a pattern that is no longer serving you anymore. Welcome it. Feel into the depths of it. Give yourself permission to surrender to it. And see how that dissolves and what insights and gifts will show up for you. So always find the opportunities in pain and triggers. Number 2, surrender to trust. Oh wow. The word surrender is such a loaded word for so many people. They associate that with the Bible and they have this perception around the Bible, and I don't blame them because of this religious connotation of how one should be. And this is why I'm really drawn to spirituality, because you get to be who you want to be without expectations or restrictions, but to be yourself in a conscious way that is bounded and healthy and functional. So to surrender is truly to let go, letting go of control, letting go of the need to be safe all the time, to surrender to trust. And trust is a word that I absolutely love. It's been my life lesson 100%. Trust is there to support you and to hold you. Trust is that divine process of life, showing you where to go and how to show up without being someone that you're not, without taking these faulty programs and behaviors with you, that you can just be yourself. Surrender to trust is also about trusting the mentor that you chose to hire to guide you to find your way back home, to trust yourself in the experience of your own alchemy, to trust what life is here to present you with. So, number 2, surrender to trust. Number 3 is own your triggers. If you do not own your own suffering and pain, you give your power away to the outside. Instead, you blame it to family, friends, exes, lovers, your therapist. Blaming doesn't allow you to grow and evolve. Instead, it keeps you stuck in playing the victim of your life. Do you really want to be a victim of your story for the rest of your life? I certainly don't. And this is the power of owning your triggers. Because as soon as you own it, you own your pain. You recognize, oh, I'm feeling this way. Not this person, me. And I'm feeling this way because of this trigger. And this trigger reminds me of my mom or my father or my brother and this experience. Let me investigate that. Let me dissolve that. Let me heal that version of myself that is holding on to that. That is the beauty in owning your triggers, because that's where you can create magic. So number 3, own your triggers. Number 4, sharpen your discernment. And this is a massive skill to learn especially for those who have experienced either childhood trauma number 1 and number 3, more so childhood trauma number 3, because they've been gaslighted and manipulated by an overprotective and manipulative mother, where you relied on your mother to navigate life for you. And that's really unhealthy, because you're not able to see the truth in your own identity. So if you can't see the truth within yourself, you cannot discern what's truth in life. And with childhood trauma number 1, which is trauma in utero, birth trauma, you tend to be scattered-headed, distracted, and you get drifted into fantasy land. You're so disassociated with your body and being in the present moment, you suffer a lot from social anxiety. And it's really hard to be here. Once you're here in your body, that's when you can discern and see beyond the illusion. But as soon as you get caught up in your head, la la land, chaos, your defense mechanism, it's really hard for you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So discernment, it's like a muscle that you need to work on. You know, the more you strengthen that muscle, the more you can see how everything works in life. It's definitely a skill in process. And for me, it took me a really long time to get to this point of discernment, where I can now see what is truth and what's illusion, and how not to get caught up in the illusion, even though my inner child wants to. So it's about moving on to tip number 5, which is build your energetic container. So again, tip number 4, sharpen your discernment. So moving on to tip number 5, build your energetic container, is about creating safety for your inner child. So you have boundaries to not collapse into the trauma, to not get overwhelmed by your past. So you use this space to hold yourself. We need an energetic container to be grounded, to be in our body. And yes, I'm talking to you if you have childhood trauma number 1. Well, we all have 5 types of different childhood traumas, but there's really 2 or 3 that shapes and mold our perspective and our personality in life. Building your energetic container, this is something that we're not taught in therapy, and not so much in self-development, more so in the healing arts to some extent, but you need to find the right mentor for this. Your energetic container, think of the words energy and container. What energy are you feeding yourself with? How are you giving your energy away? Are you containing good energy in your energetic field? Or are you holding on to crappy energy that's not serving you, and you took on that crappy energy from an ex-lover, from a dysfunctional family member, from an abuser, and you weren't able to let go of this energy? So it's now in your container, and you're feeling really crappy about yourself, you're feeling low, you're feeling your consciousness is down. When I work with my clients, I teach them and guide them how to build an energetic container so they can process their trauma safely and efficiently. This is why clinical therapy doesn't work, because it's very intellectual, it's very much in the mind. This is where a lot of us hold our trauma. It's a defense mechanism, staying in our head and not being in our heart. Trying to analyze everything, but not feeling it. We disconnect through the mind, but we heal with our feelings. And that's the beauty in trauma recovery. If you feel called to embrace all of these 5 habits, especially building your energetic container, to be grounded, to feel safe with trauma so you can process it as quickly as you can, so you can upgrade your consciousness and raise your energy and start living towards your best life, then you might be interested in my incredible inner child program called Rise in Freedom. Click on the link below and it will bring you to a different page where you can access the most incredible grounding techniques and ways to communicate with your inner child. As I shared with you, there are 5 different types of childhood traumas. So we need to address the 5 different types of childhood traumas to reprogram it so we can align ourselves to the adult versions of ourselves, which is who you came here to be. And if you feel that you got something out of this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give it a like, comment below, and share it with your loved ones who are in need of this right now. And remember, it's time for you to surrender to trust.